This is the AEW Dynamite April 3, 2024 full show results video which takes place at Worcester, Massachusetts, DCU Center. The show opens with Adam Copeland making his entrance. He gets the mic and says that he has wrestled multiple places, but when he thought about the end of his career, and he's closer to the end than the beginning, he knew he wanted to end it in AEW because of the roster. He can fight Will Osprey, Kenny Omega, Hangman, Swerve, Joe, Claudio, Moxley, Darby, FTR, the Young Bucks, and the House of Black, all of which would be first-time ever matches, all in AEW. He celebrates the men who started AEW, the Bucks, Kenny, Cody, and Tony Khan, and they should all be celebrated for being fans. That's not something to be made fun of, and AEW has pushed the industry into a better place. AEW makes wrestling better and more fun, and it's where the best wrestle. He introduces a man he calls the face of AEW going forward, Will Osprey. Then we saw a match between Powerhouse, Will Hobbs vs. Will Osprey, and the result of this match was Will Osprey defeated Will Hobbs by pinfall with Hidden Blade. Post-match, Don Callis has to talk down his two Wills from fighting because Powerhouse is mighty angry about losing. American Dragon, Bryan Danielson interrupts Will as he goes to leave, and they have a moment on the stage. Then we saw a match between Bryan Danielson vs. Lance Archer, and the result of this match was Bryan Danielson defeated Lance Archer by pinfall with the Busaiku knee. Renee Paquette interviews Chris Jericho on the stage, and he says last week he offered to be Hook's mentor, and even though he agreed, something's been sticking in his head all week that he wants to clarify, and he calls for the Hook signal. Hook comes down and Chris brings up how he said he knows who he is, and he admits that everyone he's ever aligned with he's ended up fighting, and there's a reason for that. When you play the game at a high enough level, the rules are different, and once you understand that, you'll understand what he's trying to teach you. He doesn't expect Hook to believe in him 100%, he just wants him to believe in him as much as he believes in him. Hook says he believes in him so much that he got them a match on Collision, and he'll be keeping an eye on him. Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty are chatting backstage, and it turns out they're the match Hook and Jericho have, and their hands can't hit what their eyes can't see, and on Collision, Lion Hook gets beat by STP. The next match happened between Billy Gunn vs. Switchblade, Jay White, and the result of this match was Daddy Ass. Billy Gunn won the match by disqualification when Jay White hit a low blow. Post-match, Jay takes the chair, the Ass Boys grab Daddy Ass, but the Acclaimed makes the save. They clear the announce desk and drag Switchblade up, but the Ass Boys save their buddy just in the nick of time. Willow Nightingale is interviewed by Renee Paquette on the stage with Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander in tow. Willow says every time she wonders if a girl like her belongs in wrestling, the reaction she gets tells her she does. That applause watered her and blossomed her into the woman standing in front of us, who is challenging Julia Hart at Dynasty for the TBS Championship. She's so confident from our love and support that she knows she's going to be the smiling face of TBS. Stokely has something uncharacteristic to say. Willow had, as the kids say, a banger last week, and she's something special. Mercedes Moan comes, and she greets the crowd and says she can't wait to see Willow tear it up with Julia Hart at Dynasty, because whoever is TBS champion at Double or Nothing, she's got next, because, in Vegas, money changes everything. Then we saw the AEW World Tag Team Championship semi-finals match between Best Friends vs. Young Bucks, and the result of this match was Young Bucks defeated Best Friends by pinfall with a catapult into an exposed turnbuckle from Matthew Jackson on Trent Beretta. Post-match, the Bucks mock Sue at ringside and make their way out, and a furious Trent Beretta snaps and takes Orange Cassidy out and storms out past Chuck Taylor and past his mom. The next match happened between Mariah May vs. Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship contendership, and the result of this match was Thunder Rosa defeated Mariah May by pinfall with the Tijuana Bomb, becoming the #1 contender to the AEW Women's World Championship. Post-match, Rosa is fired up to fight her now, but a distraught Tony doesn't lift a finger about it. In the main event, Tony Schiavone is in the ring to preside over the contract signing for the AEW World Championship match at Dynasty, and introduces first Shane Strickland and then Samoa Joe. Joe signs the contract without much fanfare and leans back in his chair, comfortable in his spot, and Samoa says signing the contract is a career-defining mistake. Swerve says he knows the dangers of facing Joe, and Samoa is the definition of a killer, but so is he, and at Dynasty he'll show him he's every bit of that man. He'll grab the keys to the Dynasty and turn it into Swerve's house. A brawl breaks out and Strickland chokes Joe with the chain briefly, but the champion overpowers him and knocks him out with a chain-loaded punch. Repeated chain punches to the back of the head. Just hammering away and busting Swerve open in the corner, and security gets Joe away from him, and Shane recovers and gets on the mic, laughing and saying he loves this shit, and if that's all he's got, he's taking the title from him. Strickland swipes the pen across his bloody forehead and signs the contract in his own blood. Joe rushes back into the ring and slams him through the table, and Samoa plants a foot on his chest and raises the title high, and the show goes off the air.